What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode with LackLuster Gaming, the show for those who love to game but know they're mediocre at best. Yesterday, our clan finally filled the clan chest, and tomorrow I'm going to bring you a comparison of what we received from each of our chests. But today, we have another special guest from the Crown Duel, DarthJarJar. It's a very familiar name from the Clash Royale community, a member of Reddit Alpha, most known for his 3 Musketeer gameplay, and was a top 8 finalist at the Crown Duel. Continuing our pro tip series, I bring to you DarthJarJar. What's going on, everybody? This is Dale with LackLuster Gaming. I'm on the line right now with DarthJarJar, one of the top 8 competitors from last week's Crown Duel. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Tell me about your experience leading up to the Crown Duel, the CRNAO and the arena battles.
So I got out in the semifinal of a coronation day. 3 people ahead of me were either ineligible to go. I think the first 2 players were one of them was under 18 and the other one was from France. For some reason they contacted me over the other 3rd place person, and so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go. So then I went there for the arena battle. I was up against Flash, and it was in a moving go-kart. We had to play while we were driving around a track, and it was a best 2 out of 3, even though on the video, on the YouTube video, it only showed a best of 1.
Right.
So it's, slightly more skillful, but I'd still say it was just a lot of whoever didn't screw up and misplaced a huge troop or something.
How distracting was it being in that go-kart and being slammed into walls and stuff?
I mean, personally, I was mostly fine. I mean, it was obviously harder, but I just tried to not make a huge mistake. And Flash, especially in the second game, he misplaced Inferno Tower on the wrong side or something, and he put a graveyard on his side, so he was struggling with it a lot more than me, I guess. So I just had to not make a huge mistake like he did, and then I won pretty much.
Yeah, I could tell also at the Crown Duel you seemed extremely focused once the matches started. I mean, your face was inches away from the tablet, and it was everything else was shut out.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even notice until other people were why were you so close to the tablet when everyone else was standing up and you were hunching over it. I was oh no, I guess that's just how I normally put my phone. I hold the phone up right next to me so I can see everything well. I guess I was just trying to focus on the game and cut out distractions.
Yeah.
But I'd say the nerves probably still affected me because I think especially right at the end when basically the reason I lost was I fireballed his tower when I had 5 elixirs. Then I had 1 elixir and he put Ice Golem Elite Barbarians down. I just got screwed over.
Yeah. So
I was kind of just impatient. I think in my head I was okay, all I have to do is fireball this guy twice, right? And then so as soon as the fireball came up, I'm okay, I got to use it, but I really should have just waited and been safer.
How did you prepare for the Crown Duel?
Pretty much in the weeks leading up to it were my finals in college, so I didn't really prepare much until then. But actually, I think it was good for me that there was a patch right before, because I didn't really know very well the meta even before the patch.
Yeah.
And so everyone was kind of starting on a new page, and I just agreed with it was me, Marcel, Top Notch, and Colton were in Gilgamesh. So the Reddit Alpha guys and Colton, who's a really good friend of ours, agreed the night before we met in the hotel, and we played a bunch of practice games and discussed strategy and which decks we thought would be good and which weren't, and that helped a lot in kind of figuring out what we wanted to play and what the new meta game was.
What kind of deck archetype did you decide finally to bring to the Crown Duel?
I was gonna, so normally I'm a big beatdown player. I try to build up a big push. So what I wanted to do was play Golem. There's a Golem Elite Barbs deck I was using, which I thought was pretty good. Pretty much against anything that isn't Hog Rider, because Hog Rider can punish you really well when you play the Golem down.
Yeah.
Or Minor Inferno Control. But since everyone was switching away from building, people were subbing out Inferno in their deck for Elite Barbs. I thought it would be really good. So I was gonna bring that, but actually the morning of, I looked on Honesty's profile and it said his favorite card was Hog Rider, even though his deck that he had up was a graveyard control deck, but he said his favorite card was Hog Rider, so I thought he was like practicing it in friendly battles, even though he's keeping up the other deck up. So I was like, I didn't want to risk playing Golem into Hog Rider, so I switched to what my second deck was going to be, which is pretty much like the meta Boulder Graveyard deck with Elite Barbs instead of Inferno. That's the one that both Backstab and Marcel ended up using.
They kind of promoted you as this like super genius, and realistically, you fit the part.
Kind of, they just like look for a narrative. I wouldn't say that's like very true at all. The best Clash stats in the top 8, I was like, I don't even know what that means. I mean, I finished 4th in your own event and you chose me anyway, so it's kind of funny.
Your favorite type of deck is a beatdown, as you said. Can you kind of walk us through what is your ideal offensive push with a beatdown deck?
Well, normally my favorite deck is 3 Musketeers, but like I wasn't even considering playing it once I figured out Elite Barbs were really good, just because Elite Barbs just like totally deny 3 Musketeers. Like they can wreck 2 Musketeers and still have 1 Elite Barb left alive. So yeah, that was kind of out of the question. My usual push is like my strategy is I build up like elixir collectors throughout the game, and then in the end game I like get like a 3 Musketeer split push going with like tank on one side, tank on the other, like support troops like Mega Minion, another Musketeer, Ice Spirit, stuff like that, and try to break through my opponent's defense.
The general sentiment seems to be that the arena battles were somewhat unfair or not a level playing field. How do you feel about that, and having the arena battles actually be a knockout?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it makes much sense if you're looking at it in terms of the competitive aspect, because for the coronations and for the Crown Duel, it was a competition, or at least, you know, for the Crown Duel there was a best of 1, but like it was a competition to see who was best at playing the game under like normal circumstances. Like, what do you consider normal competitive? If Clash Royale were to become an esport, like a recognized esport, like, you know, it's just normal circumstances. But well, one more thing I would say is that, sorry, this is kind of getting sidetracked as well, but like,
no,
especially even with the Crown Duel, there you had to like play on iPads, which I think you should be able to choose if you can play on a phone or iPad. Because like I've the only 2 times I've ever played on an iPad were at the arena battles and the Crown Duel. I normally drag, but I feel like it would be an advantage to tap on an iPad, because you don't have to like drag your finger all the way across the screen. You can play troops faster, but like, yeah, it was kind of weird changing that up. And it was like an advantage, I think, for people who played on iPads. But like in terms of the arena battles, yeah, like there was like huge Coronation Day tournaments, and they advertised as like the best player, but and then they're like, oh no, it's actually the best player, like who can also play under like these random conditions. And yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. And like the other thing is that the way they match people up is just like whenever people are available, they like put them together. So they didn't even like have like any seeds. Like it wasn't like the 1 seed versus 16 seed or something like that. It was just like randomly. So for all we know, like 2 of the best 2 players could have matched up. Like I know Colton and Top Notch are 2 extremely good players, and they matched up in the arena battle, and it was just like whoever could handle playing while eating pancakes better, which is like kind of dumb.
Yeah. Are you a part of any other competitive leagues like the CRL or anything like that?
Yeah, I was in CRL for this year, but I didn't really get to play very many times. Whenever there was CRL, it would always be at the time of like my team's football game or basketball game, which I like had priority over playing the league.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, I think I played in like I ended up playing in 2 weeks total, but like I'd always have something. It was kind of disappointing. Like I was like the team captain as well, and we like kind of had a disappointing finish. It was kind of weird. We were like 9th, so we had to, only the top 8 got to stay in the Royale 16, and we had to play a challenge match. We only had like a very limited amount of people available for the match, and so we didn't really have all our best players in, and also we had some people playing on like suboptimal conditions, because we just didn't have that many people available, and we ended up losing 3-2, and we still almost won with like Woody like barely had a tie and then had to redo. His Expo had like 2 more shots until it killed the other guy's tower.
So I also know you live stream. Do you live stream on a daily basis?
No, I don't stream on a daily basis, because like that's too much of a time commitment for me personally. That's not really what I'm trying to do overall, but I do stream like occasionally. I like took a long break during school because I was trying to spend less time on Clash Royale overall. So yeah, so when school's back in session, I'll probably try to stream like 2 or 3 times a month instead of just totally not doing anything at all. I just need to be good at like finding a good time to stream, and especially because I know like when I do stream, it seems like usually people enjoy it and get a lot out of it, and I get a lot of good feedback, so I do enjoy it.
If you do continue to stream, I'll certainly be watching because I definitely would love to learn from you, and I'm sure that most of the viewers would as well. We'll link your Twitch down in the description box below.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, before we get going, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
My clan, Reddit Alpha. If you're interested in joining, there's a lot of good players kind of in all our clan, in our top clan and in our feeders. We have Reddit Alpha all the way down to Hotel. Not sure exactly what their trophy requirement is for Hotel right now, but I think it's in the mid 3,000s. And they're it's kind of similar management all across the clan system, and a lot of great people looking to get into competitive scene whatever stage they're at. And some people in the competitive scene, some people just play casually, but it's all a lot of fun. Yeah, and then shout out to really just Backstab for winning the Crown Duel. He did a great job, and all the other Crown Duel competitors, like all 8 of them, were really nice people and were a lot of fun to hang out with. My YouTube channel, I don't really like create content for it, but I just started like putting like clips, like I'll like clip out parts from Twitch and put it on.
Is there anything that you want to cover that I haven't already?
So there's a really interesting discussion I had with a lot of people in actual like competitive esport. They have a thing where like before an important event, they won't make a patch, like a balance change, within like a month, and like they'll announce like this is the last one, like before Worlds or whatever finals. And in this they did it like right before, so it changed up a lot. Like I know Odyssey, he wasn't running Elite Barbarians in either of his like 2 decks, and he actually did well defeating Mango, but he lost to Backstab, and I think a big reason was because he hadn't, like, I was talking to him before, and he said he hadn't had like a lot of a chance to test them since the patch, especially since I know he's kind of a busy guy. He is a parent and stuff, so I think that definitely puts some people at a disadvantage in terms of just like who had more time like the last few days to just spend a ton of time trying to practice in the meta and stuff like that. And Backstab was running like 2 really solid meta decks, like one that has been kind of a meta deck for a while, the Giant Graveyard deck, and another like the Bowler Graveyard deck that was kind of both determined by him and like Marcel to be one of the best decks now. Deck familiarity with like the new metagame went into it a lot.
Thank you so much for joining me and affording me some of your time. I really appreciate you coming on the show for us.
Yeah, anytime. I'm happy to do it.
And there you got it, guys. Check it. He's an amazing player, an awesome guy. I had a lot of fun hanging out with him and Colton after the Crown Duel, and it was extremely generous of him to afford us some of his time. And if you didn't notice, most of the footage that was played was of his 3 Musketeer gameplay. And for some reason, after watching that 12-1 Grand Challenge, it makes me really want to pick up the 3 Musketeers. So I'm going to go do that while you guys stick around and click on one of these videos. I think they're actually, yeah. I got wings. So weird.